Many blessings to you, listener. You've got it locked live to the next level, nextlevelradio.org on glitch.fm. I'm your host this evening, the Avatara VII23, and we're very pleased to have on the phone with us in an interview, Rigzin. So, how are you doing out there tonight, Rigzin?
I'm well. Thank you, David. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being on the show. We're very, very honored. We kind of wanted to do something different that we've discussed, so let's go ahead if you wanted to open up the interview. Um, that would be awesome.
Thank you. I am a practitioner of the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, and so then all of our ceremonies and practices all follow in a similar pattern. So we always begin everything with an invocation to awakened mind or enlightened being. So I thought it would be nice to invoke that aspect of enlightenment that is our inherently within us. Pei yeshe kada choyin kon zangmo ranze rango sampa kya kyo ma Tuje kun kya tawa tro mi kya suchi o kompa o churo pai pat pai.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Uh, very, very excited to have you as a featured guest on our show. It's going to be for the May 28th, 2014 broadcast. And I've definitely wanted to get you featured for a while, and I'm very excited. I was first introduced to your music way back in the day with Random Rab, but it was really my partner Andrea Dutton who had me re-listen to a bunch of your stuff and showed me Union and the intention behind it, and I was just completely blown away. And you've been solid in my sets ever since then. So I want to thank you so much for the beautiful music that you make and what you do. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My pleasure. Thank you, Andrea.
She will appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, you've launched a Kickstarter here, and for a new album coming out. And let's see, the final day for the Kickstarter is June 8th. Is that correct?
Yeah, the last day is June 8th. And I have the Kickstarter going for the next album. But I'd like to say something about what you said just now about the intention behind everything. But, the first album when it came out. So as a practitioner of Buddhism, the first album, Union, then came out in 2010. And I had never, ever imagined myself to be a singer or a performer. My main life's purpose or practice has always been meditation. And so then I have all of these beautiful prayers that have been given to me by my teacher and came through the lineages. And so I've just spent my life practicing, devoting myself to this path. And then the path, one of the main roots of the path is, may I attain awakening in order to work ceaselessly for the awakening of all beings. So that's the vow that I took a long time ago, and that was the driving force in everything that I've ever done. And so then how this has all arisen with me singing in public venues and such it's all a fulfillment of this vow to hopefully bring benefit to others. And through these ancient mantras that carry all the blessing of this lineage, then I can be a conduit to bring that to people.
It's amazing. It is such a beautiful intention. And the actual hard copies were prayer wheels. Is that correct?
Yeah, and the second album is following in a similar format to the first one, and Andrew Jones is again doing the artwork, and his art on the cover is just so incredible, and so he's working on the second one too, and the second one also, the disc is a prayer wheel. So the idea of prayer wheels is that we can put our intention into anything, and mostly we put our intention into ourselves and taking care of ourselves or our family or whatever we're up to. So then in a spiritual practice, then we put our intention, our efforts into things in physical forms that have spiritual import. So yeah, prayer wheel, then we make these wheels with the mantras and the syllables, and then as they spin, then that energy emanates. So the disc of the CD is just the perfect place to put mantras and turn it into a prayer wheel. And not only is it like a physical prayer wheel of the actual mantras, but it's this vibrational prayer wheel that carries the sound.
It's so beautiful. And boy, is that I think they spin pretty fast, so the intentions.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's awesome. I had no idea.
So they're those prayers are flying out there really quickly.
That's great. Yeah, and with the way it all kind of is happening in my unfolding here, this modern world, this ability to make music so readily, like really in any computer is kind of a studio. And so then it all is reproduced and given away and emanated out there. So the tracks that I've done so far have gone really far and wide. Like they've really gone worldwide over the internet, which, was never possible before. So it's just this amazing interdependence that I became a singer or something.
Yes, you most definitely did, and an incredible composer as well, I believe. You were the one who did all of the production work on it. Is that correct?
No. Nope, those are all I have so many amazing friends that are all musicians and artists pretty much. So I just asked people if they would produce tracks. So those were all friends of mine who produced those tracks for me. And likewise, this next one, it's some of the same cast of characters, but a few new ones too. All offered their support and talents to create this piece together.
Oh, beautiful co-creation. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so originally it was Random Rab, who made the first tracks.
Okay. I was going to ask, then who who made some of the productions?
On the first album?
Yes.
Yeah, so Random Rab and Tigran Mimosa did a track, and Brandon Siren did a track, Maximilian and Cohen and Noah No One did some amazing tracks, and yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing group.
Wow.
Yeah, and this next album, David Block and Saki and Max and Noah are on this one also, and then his DJ name is Sweet Anomaly, and yeah, it's another Shauna, DJ Shauna, and her partner Chris, who's from Berlin. He's an amazing producer. So again, I have this incredible group of supporters and talented peoples.
Wow, that is wonderful. I'm all for co-creations and collaborations.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not a musician. I don't have any. I have no skills as in music or anything like that. None. So
Well,
everybody's helping me out here.
well, I have a question then. In the mantras that you're singing, um, are you choosing the tonalities of it and how it comes?
No, those are all ancient songs, and even some of them, like the one that I just sang at the beginning of our interview, that tune comes from something called Treasure, where it's a little bit of a long story, but I guess why not, right?
Right.
Yeah. So there's something very special in the lineage that I am particularly associated with, and how it went was this very great practitioner who attained enlightenment. Then he left these teachings to be given down into the future, but he could foresee into the future that the lineages would degrade as they were passed along from teacher to student, and on down through millennium. So kind of like I explain it of like when you play telephone and the first person says it to the next person, and then when it comes back to the end, it's not exactly how it started, right?
Right.
So, so this great being, Padmasambhava, he implanted into the mind stream these teachings to be revealed in the proper time of the future when they were most needed. So that song that I sang in the beginning is this treasure teaching that was hidden in the mind stream of one of his disciples 1,000 some odd something years ago, and then was revealed in the last, like 80, it was like 80 years or something like that ago. And so the songs all come through that way too. They come from other times, and the songs are very important to carry the blessing and the intention.
Wow. Your voice is an instrument. I would also argue that.
Right. Yeah, it's true. And I never sang. I never thought I had a good voice or, any of that kind of thing. So this time now I've really been learning about singing and how you can really transmit through your voice, and it's so like connected to your soul, or however you want to say that. And for me, how I've been doing it is when I do shows, I hold my meditation. Like I bring myself into what I can manifest as my highest level of being in this practices that I do, and then I sing from there. And then it's amazing, like that people receive what you put out. It's incredible. It's just been the most incredible experience for me.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Yes, they can definitely feel the intention, I believe, and resonance. And the throat it's an incredible instrument for transmitting that intention.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm bringing through, I mean, in a sense, it's me, but it's really not me. I mean, like, that's how I was able to actually be a performer and stand on stage, and because I was like, this is not me. I'm just like a channel, really, and so it's this lineage, it's this ancient lineage that, I mean, I did have I had the will and I saw what it was, and I went there. I really went there, and that I did. But the lineage is very old, and there's so many blessings from so many great beings and practitioners through this long history of spiritual development. So that's what people feel. That's what I'm the connection for people to that lineage.
That's beautiful. Um, I know I've studied some forms of Buddhism, and I know that there's a bunch of different lineages and schools. What particular lineage is this?
So the lineage that I practice is called Nyingma, and there's 4 lineages in Tibetan Buddhism. And so this is one, and it's the old school. So that's Nyingma means the old school. And so then there's 2 branches of the Nyingma lineage. There's the monastic and the yogic. And so this yogic lineage is very special. And so that's the one where I found myself. And so then also another special quality about the Nyingma school, the old school, is that before Buddhism came to Tibet, there was an indigenous culture there called Bon, and it was very shamanistic, and had all of the shamanistic type spirits and land spirits and all kinds of things. So then, like other cultures, like in South America, let's say, where Christianity came into an indigenous culture, it just got kind of interwoven. So the Nyingma school kind of was the old one, so it got interwoven with the ancient shamanistic practices that were already in Tibet. So it's really deep. It's really it's very amazing.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I'm gonna have to go and do some research now.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Nyingma.
Nyingma. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We're old school.
I love it. I feel ya. Coming from the old school too. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I had a question then in the sense of more of when you're approaching a production or an album, a grouping together of tracks. Um, how do you approach that group of music? What is your particular process to making your tracks manifest?
So the first album, Union, I really did that as a demo. I didn't really know anything about I didn't even know anything about the internet, or that you could just, make a song and post a song. Like, I'm kind of old school, you make an album. So I just made this whole album. I didn't know that you could just, do like one song and put it up on the internet. So I just made this whole album, and basically I just asked my friends, to produce tracks for me, and I wanted to make it like a demo so that people could see that you could weave mantra into all kinds of things. So there's some really peaceful tracks, there's some a cappella tracks, and then there's like, dance floor kind of tracks. So that was the intention behind Union, was it was really a demo. But now this next album, Transition, this one's really my intention of what I've always wanted to do. And Transition is all prayers and mantras to help people through the process of dying. And it's not, exclusive that, you can only listen to it if you're dying. It's good for everybody, but that is the intention, because the moment of death is very significant. And if one's mind is in a peaceful and calm state at death, then that, we believe, helps their future rebirth. So I wanted to make this album with all of the prayers that carry the lineage, and then use my voice to like hold that space of like trying to open beings' minds into this loving, kindness, open, enlightened, luminous, eternal, deathless state. So that's what the second album's about. I'm really excited to put this out, and I've wanted to for so long, because I feel it's really important to get this out into the world, and so it's happening. And then the other way that I work, I would say, is that, like what I was saying at the very beginning, in the practices that we do in this tradition, they all follow along in kind of a certain pattern. So at the beginning of every practice is the lineage invocations. And then, there's steps, and every practice, every ceremony all follows along in this similar way. And so then each of the albums, Union also does that. It has a beginning, a main practice, and then the end. And so Transition also has that, where there's the beginning prayers that come in the beginning of a practice. It's like a full ceremony. The album is a complete ceremony. Each of those albums is a complete ceremony.
Okay. Are they a specific series of ceremonies that, like, I mean, I can imagine there must be a lot of songs. So how did you go about picking which songs you were going to put together?
They're very common ones, I would say. Simple, beautiful things that I feel like part of what I'm doing is I'm making this very ancient tradition that comes from, it's not always necessarily acceptable, in a sense that maybe that's not the right word, but the words and such, sometimes people can't get past some of those old usage of words and such. So anyway, I think that part of what I'm doing is I'm bringing it into an essence and trying to really hold to the main essence of what was given through these lineages, and simplifying it, but not losing anything in that process of making it simple and accessible to people in a modern time.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just kind of selecting things that are some of the more well-known pieces, and
yeah, some of the more well-known pieces, and also some of the things that aren't. There are a lot of like stricture and secrecy on certain things, so I'm trying to be careful, to be respectful of the tradition, and offer things that are very essency and the roots of it, but not like
secret.
not reveal things that should be kept secret.
I see. Wow, that's awesome. Very cool. So it's kind of in an effort to bring to the more common mindset these awesome traditions.
Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing left out. It's not like I'm, leaving parts out. It's really all in there, but it's in a form that's, it's in a form that I'm trying to, be respectful and give it in a very, so in the way that I'm bringing it through, there's really nothing left out, but in the way that the languaging of it is a way that it's like freely given, so that nobody would say, oh, you shouldn't be saying that, that's not appropriate, kind of thing, to just, put on a record kind of thing. So it's all there, it's complete, but it's like common in a sense, but not common in a sense that like, oh, that's common, that's not good. It's like common good. I mean, I studied, traditionally I've been a practitioner for my whole life and 30 years now, and it's very there's a lot of scholarly, you have to study to really unlock a lot of these teachings. And it's not, everybody's not going to want to put in 30 years. So I'm taking my 30 years and just, like distilling the essence of it into a form that's appropriate to give to everybody, that can be received. Because like a lot of these texts, they're very old and they're very complex, and people can't, it's too much, it's too hard, too difficult for a lot of people. But the essence of it, the roots of it, is just so beautiful. I want people to be able to access that if they want to.
That's a beautiful intention once again. I believe that you are definitely making it more accessible for people to be able to hear these wonderful teachings. So, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. It feels, like it is a fulfillment of my vows, like these vows that I've made over and over and over again forever here. May I be of benefit to others. It feels like this is how I'm fulfilling my vows, by, standing up on stages in front of, lots of people and making these recordings and spreading those out. And so it's pretty incredible times.
Agreed. Beautiful times.
Mm-hmm. They say that in the times of degeneration, in these like darker times where things are degenerating, is also the best time for spiritual awakening. So it's this kind of interesting things that's happening, and I really see it happening. Like people are waking up, like people are, it's amazing. There's just so many incredible people out there.
Agreed. And
Mm-hmm.
it seems as though the transformational festival culture has definitely resonated with a lot of incredible individuals who are ready to perhaps experience a lot of these ancient teachings and knowledge.
Yeah, I think, most people aren't interested in doing what I did, spending, all of that time and energy, but they don't have to, in a sense. I mean, they can if they want to, but I'm opening that door. And so it's like, here, look at, this is what this holds. And you don't have to, spend years and years, trying to meditate. Not that, of course, that's a good thing to do. I mean, I teach a class of meditation every Monday night over the phone. And, so I encourage people to meditate. People are always like, oh, Rickson, teach me. I want to know what you do. So I started doing this class. And it's, for me, it's all about meditation. But most people aren't really going to do that. So it's another way to see what's going on here without, spending a lot of time meditating and all these kinds of things that I did.
So, kind of just making it so that all of the information that you received is more accessible for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to, offer what I have on in a way that's accessible to everybody.
Well, I believe you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you so much.
Definitely, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about the upcoming release, if you don't mind. I'd
Yeah,
like to
thank you.
definitely. I'd like to spend a little bit of time talking about that. Um, so it's I, it's Transition is the name of it, and it's
Mm.
kickstarter.com/projects/rigzin/transition-cd-release, and it looks like it has 16 days to go at the time of this recording. So,
Okay, yeah.
So when you close the Kickstarter, how are you going to approach the production?
Yeah, so the end of the Kickstarter is June 8th, and that I think worked out really nicely as a date too, because it's like, okay, remember June 1st, that's your last day kind of, so people can, because I think a lot of people, wait till the end, and so it ends June 8th, and oh yeah, and if you just write kickstarterrigzin.com, it pops up, so it's really easy. And so after the Kickstarter, if I get the funding, it'll just really help me out because I'm not very technically savvy, and I could use a little help. And really, everybody who's done everything has done it just for love, and given me their time and energy, and I'm really grateful for that. But it would be nice to be able to pay people, and we all need to make money, and so a lot of the money that I'm raising will go to paying people, and those people are all other artists who that can support their art, and then there's costs for production and mastering and the actual printing of the CD and all of that, and then there's distribution. And I'd really like to hire somebody to help me with like computer distribution and all of the stuff my website needs upgrading and all of these things, so like that. And then if there's anything after that, I'm planning this CD release party for the fall in San Francisco, and I have my eye on this amazing venue that I think might happen, and create a new show and really take it to the next level. I'm really ready now with my I've had enough time to practice and figure out how to do all this performance and everything. So I'm calling it Enlightened Entertainment, and trying to really entertain people while I transmit these blessings.
Awesome. So, I guess what I'm asking also is how are you going to approach the actual like album itself, as far as the process of what you're going to go through for making each track come about? So, like, are you going to go into a recording studio first, and then from
Okay.
there?
It's almost done. The album's really close to done. It's all done. It's something I've been working on for the past, years. And, so we're close. There's 16 tracks and all these incredible producers. And, it's all almost done.
So you've just kind of already been producing on it, but so you would just go into a studio when you have a chance and lay down some vocals, and then give that to one of your friends who's going to be doing production work on it, or how does it work?
Yep, that's how it was done. And most of the recording was done here where I live, and I have a little 16-foot. It's a ferro cement. It's like a hard-shelled little geodesic dome down in the woods, and that's my little meditation cabin down there. And it just turns out that my little meditation spot has the best acoustics ever. So most of the recording is done in my place where I do a lot of practice, and so that's really wonderful for me, because then when I'm doing the recording, I'm really in the root of my place. So most of the recording's done here, and then sent out to different people.
Wow, that is great that you get to record from your space, your sacred space.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yep.
Wow, what a blessing.
It's really amazing. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, and then so then you just kind of wait for the tracks to be worked on, and I'm sure they're probably sent back and forth a lot, and um, then off to mastering they go, and that's how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah, and it's quite a process. I mean, in one way, working over the internet, it's such a miracle and it really makes so many things possible, but it's not all that easy. So, yeah, I mean, eventually, if there's funding and all of those kinds of things, I'd really like to sit with somebody, right, with somebody and work on the tracks. That's really the best way. And I've done that with some people. Some people, it's just purely over the internet. And yeah, there's albums inside me that are going to come. They're ready already.
Oh, awesome. So we'll probably be looking for more releases soon after transition.
Yeah, I think so. I think this one was really difficult because this one, the intention is really deep and really close to my heart and something that I wanted to do. And the learning curve has been great, because I've learned so many things. So I think the next ones are going to be, I think they'll come quicker. Yeah, the next album is going to be called Protection, and it's going to be all protective prayers. So that'll be more getting people to do slow production, like to make the tracks really slow and beautiful. That was a little bit difficult because most of my friends do dance music. So the protection album, that one's going to be all dance type stuff and kind of rough and bassy and all that stuff. So I think that'll be easy. Then the intention with that, is that people have these protector prayers. So like if you're driving or whatever, so you have a whole album of protector prayers.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah, so there's a lot I can do, things like that. I have a little storehouse going on here and they're coming.
Wonderful. So you're just kind of stockpiling recordings then?
No, I haven't started that yet, but it's not hard.
Oh.
I mean, for me to sing, that's not hard.
You don't have to like wait for some sort of inspiration to hit you, or
Right? Nope.
wow, very
Yeah.
lucky. Well, thank you very much. I'm excited now for the next album.
Yay.
I'll be definitely looking out for that.
Oh, yay. I'm glad you're looking forward to the next one. Me too.
Yes. Wow. I'm very excited. And you said that it's going to be more dancey, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've really been enamored lately with a lot of the down tempo and sacred bass kind of stuff. It's just been completely absorbing all of my awareness for a while.
Maybe you can connect me to some producers that you think might make good tracks with my vocals.
Oh, I would love to. I'd be honored. Definitely. I can think of a bunch of the sacred bass people who would be really into it right off the
Oh,
top of
that's
my head.
awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah, because actually, I don't really know that much about music.
I can definitely. We'll definitely talk about that.
That would be great. That would be great.
Yeah, a lot of the folks that have been coming through in the new vibration that I've been working with the show is it's been featuring a lot of the more down tempo, organic, sacred bass, temple bass kind of tracks. So,
That that's yeah, sounds like where I'm at.
oh, awesome. I think a lot of people are feeling that vibration. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I like the more organic kind of. Yep.
definitely. People like you mentioned David Block earlier. Um,
Mhm.
we just featured the human experience, and it's just amazing the work that he does. It's just incredible.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Yeah, he did 2 tracks on this album, so I'm really happy about that.
Oh, that's super exciting.
Mhm.
We talked a little bit about Union. Union can be found at rigzin.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, I think if you just Google Kickstarter it'll come up.
Okay, cool.
So it's pretty easy to find, yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh yeah, other thing that I'd like to say is that so with the Kickstarter, you pledge whatever amount that is, and then there's a reward. And so with this one, basically it's just pre-ordering the album. So for a $20 pledge, I'm going to sign all the albums, and there's going to be stickers and all of that. So that's for $20. And there's a lot of other different levels of rewards too. There's one that has you can get both albums signed and like all these different, levels. But but basically, you're getting an album for the $20, and then it really is helping me to be able to make this happen. So kind of the idea is, if you feel it, what I'm trying to do, then order an album so that I can continue with this work. Thanks.
Beautiful. So it's basically a pre-order for the album plus some perks.
Some perks, and the gratitude that you helped, or the knowledge that you participated in helping this happen. So
Ah,
that's a part of it too. Like you're helping to make this happen, and if you believe or have support for what I'm doing, then if you want to help me make that happen, I'm really grateful.
truly a co-creative process and opened up to the public to be a part of it, which is beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's been really amazing experience for me, because to kind of push that button and put myself out there like that. Like if you guys watch the video, it's really sweet. It's like all of my little world of where I live and my garden and my dogs and this my whole reality. So I'm really putting myself out there like that. And it's been amazing, to like kind of step beyond that, like, oh, should I do that? And then to receive like all this like love and people giving back to me, not just the money part, but just the support, has been a really great and supportive experience.
Ah, that's wonderful to hear.
Hmm. Yeah, it's such a great thing that we can really do that for each other. And I think as artists, to really be able to support each other in our art, that's really what we need to do. Like if everybody supports everybody in their art, then we can all create wonderful things for each other and everybody.
I agree. And then there's more art for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, if we all, so like whoever's, making something, so everybody, throws in $20 to help, then we can do these projects. So it's this whole Kickstarter crowdfunding, however that's called. It's a great idea. It's really wonderful all around.
I agree. Definitely been looking into it more to see if we can get something going to help support the station and the radio
Yeah.
show.
Um,
But
uh,
I've never done one either, so maybe sometime soon I will get as much courage as you got to do
right?
it.
To be brave.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what it was like to work with Android Jones for your cover and I don't know, have you seen anything of what he's planning on for the next one?
I have no idea what he's going to do. I just sent him the photos that Sequoia Emanuel, she took the photos, and so I just sent him the photos, and he'll make magic. And yeah, Andrew's a really close friend of mine, and yeah, we've just been very close and aligned for, I don't know, quite a while now. So he um, yeah, loves me and is helping me, and yeah, that's how that is.
That's wonderful. Quite an amazing person to have supporting you.
Yeah, yep, it's yeah, very fortunate.
We're super honored to have him as a featured visionary artist on the show. So I'm very excited to get into the promo for your show and find a really appropriate Android piece for this wonderful broadcast.
Nice.
Very excited for that. So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, are you planning any performances anytime soon?
Well, I'm planning the CD release party,
Okay.
and yeah, for the fall, and I'm kind of on a new phase of trying not to put too much stress on myself. So I'm not doing any shows, and just focusing on getting the album done. Kind of back to a one thing at a time. So yeah, once the album's done, and then I do the CD release show, then that can travel. So one step at a time.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Very wise.
yeah, really good. Yeah.
Or tend to kind of get scattered in our current society, so that's a beautiful thing to get back to, just present moment. What am I working with right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn not to multitask anymore, and just really just because I just too busy and too many things, and it's like, no, 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 that's not really working. And so I'm really back to, one thing at a time, and it's working. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see how the rest of the Kickstarter is going to go, and I'll make sure to let everyone know through all of our various social media places. I have been already, but I'll mention it a few more times for sure before it goes out here.
Thank you.
Oh yes, most definitely. I'm honored to help.
No, thank you.
Definitely. And I will be excitedly waiting to hear some new amazing Rigson tunes.
Yeah, here's a little part that I haven't put out publicly at all yet. I was granted permission to use my teacher's vocals. He was well known in Tibet for his voice, and he passed away now like 10 years ago. And so, yeah, his wife granted me her permission to use his vocals. So there's a couple pieces on the album where I'm singing with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to be incredible. Very
Mhm.
powerful.
Mhm. Yeah. And so one of the stories of his life, one of the many, um, he opened a concert at one point for the Beastie Boys. They're Buddhist, or one of somebody was Buddhist in the Beastie Boys, and so they asked Rinpoche to open one of their concerts, and I guess there was like then 10,000 or whatever, so many people there, and Rinpoche went out on the stage, and I guess his microphone didn't work or something. Anyway, he bowed, and everybody cheered, and it was an amazing experience for him, I think, just to see like the potential of that. And he said something like, next life rock star. And so I felt that when he passed away, I felt that a little bit of his uh, activity and his like work went into each one of us who were his close disciples. And I think I must have got the rock star card. Wild, yeah. So in a way, it's like I'm kind of like I think that it was his wish that kind of propelled me in this way, even though I didn't ever really, it wasn't like intentional in that way. And then on the other way, then I'm kind of being able to spread his voice in a greater way.
Oh, that's beautiful. So grateful to you for being able to do that, and that being your passion. Very grateful.
Oh, thank you.
I think we're approaching an hour here.
Mhm. Yeah. Feels about. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about?
Well, it's funny. I was just kind of coming to the place too of like I think we kind of got it.
Sweet. we're in the same vibe there.
Um,
Okay. Well, would you like to do the dedication then, and we can close the interview?
yeah, I would love that.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again. I'm so honored and so grateful. I appreciate it so much, and I really love your music, and
Oh, thank you.
I'm very very grateful. Andrea really got me into it again, and like I said, it's kind of a mainstay in my sets. You'll hear it pretty often. So thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, give Andrea my love.
I will.
And yeah, it was. This is really another kind of amazing thing that you and I have been talking about doing an interview for quite some time, but now it's happening now, like right when I'm doing this whole Kickstarter thing. So it's just kind of worked out really well that way.
Oh, it's so perfect.
Hmm.
I can't wait to definitely get on promoting the show and really blast that out and see if we can generate some more interest there. But either
Yeah.
way, you have so much support. Um,
Yep.
Anything I can offer, of course. And I will definitely hit you up with some recommendations and connect you with some people
Oh,
if you'd
good.
like.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, thanks. That would be
Definitely.
great. Okay, so I will recite for you this prayer of dedication. And whenever we do any kind of practice or ceremony, then it's important at the end to dedicate all the positive energy that was created for the benefit of others. So this is my favorite prayer that this is another kind of the thing that I do. This is a prayer that comes from this amazing text. But if you read the text, then it's a little bit, I don't know, it's hard to read through kind of. So I kind of rewrote it a little bit, but I didn't really change anything. Thus, by all the positive actions accumulated throughout the 3 times and the 10 directions, may the pain of every being be completely cleared away. In an aeon of famine, may I myself change into food and drink. May the hungry find food vital and nutritious. May the thirsty find water pure and forever abundant. May I become the doctor and the medicine and the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. May every disease in the world never occur again. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May I become an inexhaustible treasure for those who are poor and destitute. May the naked find clothing and the homeless find shelter. May I be a clean, comfortable bed to rest upon, free from fear or harm. May those bound be freed, and may the powerless find power. May I be a protector for those without one. May those with little splendor come to be endowed with majesty, and those whose bodies are worn with toil find magnificent and noble forms. May the lowly obtain grandeur and the proud be humbled, and may people think of benefiting one another. May those weak with sorrow find joy, the forlorn find hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. May no one ever be afraid or belittled. May no one's mind ever be depressed. May I turn into all things anyone could need. May I be a lamp for those desiring light. May I become a boat, a bridge, and a guide for all travelers on the way. May those feeble with cold find warmth, and may those oppressed by heat be cooled. May harvests be rich and bountiful, and animals be free from the fear of being eaten. May all beings be without want for wealth, and without it being a source of dispute or harm. May they always prosper. Just like space and the elements, may I always support the life of all boundless creatures. For as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too abide to dispel the pain in the world. May the suffering of living beings ripen solely upon myself. I value all beings as equal to myself. I offer myself for you. By this generosity, may negativity be transformed into love, compassion, and kindness. May all negativity, the effects of harmful actions, be purified, and may beings think of benefiting one another, stirring the realms from their depths.
Oh. Goosebumps and a tear in my eye. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you. And I could sing one more prayer if.
Please.
So, so this is a prayer that my teacher sang at the end of every ceremony that we did, and every practice. And this prayer is to protect us until we attain full realization of our own inherent enlightened being. Dusan Sangye Guru Rinpo Che Ngodu Kondang Dewa Chen Pushab Bache Kunsel Du Drapo Sao Soa Deso Jinji Tu So Chinan Songwei Bache Chewa Nan Sampa Unge Drupa Jinjilo Omya Bentra Guru Pema City Oma Hom Benza Guru Pema Sri Hom Oma Hom Benza Guru Pema Sri Hom Oma Hom Benza Guru Pema Sri Hom Oma Hom Benza Guru Pema Sri Hom.
Oh, thank you. This is going to be an epic broadcast. Thank you.
Hey.
Like,
yeah, that last the prayer on the album Rinpoche and I sing that together.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to hear that.
His voice was beautiful,
Oh,
powerful. He was amazing.
wow. That's wonderful. I cannot wait to hear that. This gave me goosebumps.
Mhm. Hello, everybody. This is Rigson, and you're listening to Next Level Radio on Glitch.fm.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure.
Greatly, greatly appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.